Move aside, Iron Fist. There's a brand new weeaboo superhero in town. Oh my god.
Wow.
This was awful. Hey everyone, it's me, Aaron.
I'm Michelle.
This is our post-Geekout reaction for Batman Ninja. Oh,
it's
man.
like they decided to like cram in just like every other anime like trope in this, and the only thing is missing is like Batman going Super Saiyan, and maybe a Catwoman turning into a magical girl.
In a weird way, I'd almost applaud them if they did that in here, because then it would be at least be like, well, they realized it was stupid, but at least they went full stupid with it. Oh my god, this is so... Listen, I knew this thing was coming, I knew it existed long ago, everybody did, because as soon as the trailer for this, like, it didn't even, like, premiere first, it got leaked first because it premiered in Japan first, so people were sending around the Japanese trailer of this before DC probably put out an official one, because we didn't even know if this was coming to the States yet. And people saw this and just went, oh my god, this is amazing. And I did too. Like, I looked at it and went, listen, I'm tired of Batman. I'm super Batman out. But this looks pretty dope. At least you're doing something new and it looks badass. Like all the designs and everything.
Yeah, it's like, okay, I did like the premise at first. That's the thing. But then it just like went batshit literally.
It's not even that. It's that the stuff in here, I mean, it's not like you really have to break down the science of why this is bad. Everything just isn't good in this. That's it. It's fairly cut and dry on this one. And man, I got nervous when I started watching this because we had been looking for, like, I had been looking for this because like, this sounds pretty darn dope. I'm into this. But then I saw the scores on this thing. Not even like from critics on Rotten Tomatoes. I'm talking about when I saw like the Amazon score for this. When I saw like the Metacritic score on this thing, maybe not Metacritic, but like other places on the internet, I saw scores for this thing just from the audiences, and this is the thing you have to realize. There's people out there who will love Batman no matter what, and there's also people out there who they will love the DC animated films no matter what. So many people out there like applaud the DC animated films and say, yeah, they're all amazing. No, they're not. Under the Red Hood was amazing. Flashpoint, close to amazing. Really darn good. And then after that, you've got like, that last Teen Titans one was alright. That was decent-ish. The Justice League Dark one, that's pretty decent. That's an alright passable film. After that, man, it is a long slide down. It is, they have so many bad animated films. And holy cow, it's not the worst one.
No.
Also that Suicide Squad one they did, not the most recent Suicide Squad one, but the one before that. That was actually pretty good too. I'll give them that one too. So you got 5 in there that range from, it's pretty decent to amazing. But they put out like 3 of these a year. I don't think people realize how many DC animated films come out. And holy cow. Like I said, I saw the audience scores on this thing, and it was right down the middle, like 3 out of 5 stars on Amazon. And another place it was like 5.5 score out of 10. And I was like, these are the freaking DC animated fans and the Batman fans who were dying to see this, who jumped on it as soon as it came out. They're the ones giving it like very scores. So if I'm not really like head over heels in love with the DC animated films or with Batman, oh my god, what am I going to think? I'll tell you what I think. This is terrible. Okay. Basically, the concept of this is Gorilla Grodd is setting up some kind of a machine at Arkham Asylum. Batman is going in there to stop them. The machine explodes. And then Batman wakes up in Japan, in feudal Japan. Yes. He's been sent back in time and over to Japan. And it turns out everybody at Arkham, and also Nightwing, Robin, Red Hood, Red Robin, Catwoman, and Alfred, who all also just happened to be there at the time, got sucked up. And they've been in Japan for years now. For 2 years. They all got sent back. And now Batman finally arrived, because time travel works weird that way. And he arrives.
Honestly, this is a whole bunch of bullshit.
This entire film is nothing but like, we will just make an excuse to be able to move this story forward. But yeah, he shows up and he has to now confront Lord Joker. Joker took over one of the sections of Japan, but so did all the other Arkham villains.
Yeah.
Like, Japan is now divided up into territories being run by the different Arkham villains. And, okay, one question I immediately have with this is, okay, it just sucked up all of Arkham, and anybody who happened to be in Arkham got sucked up. Where's all the doctors? Where's all, like, the security guards at Arkham? Where's the janitors? Like, why was Arkham completely cleared out except for Joker, Harley Quinn, Deathstroke, Two-Face, Poison Ivy, Penguin, and also Bane at one point pops up in here? That entire big-ass building had these 7 people inside of it. So yeah, there's a question right there, but it's one of those things where it's like, you just don't ask too many questions on this thing because it's just meant to be a fun concept, and the concept is fun. It's fun, but it's fun in the way that, like, fan art is fun.
Yes.
And you can tell this entire movie was sold on fan art. This entire movie was sold on a concept design, because someone went in there and went, I'm going to design feudal era Batman. I'm going to design feudal era Joker. I'm going to design feudal era Deathstroke. And people at DC looked at that and went, we gotta come up with a story around this. And they didn't. But they just decided to turn it into a movie anyways. Because, okay, basic, simple concept like that, but it looks like, okay, you don't have to really do much to make this good, because, listen, the concept alone is enough to make us go, alright, cool, yeah, way to go. And every single turn of this is just something that makes you go, I'm sorry, wait, what?
What?
There's a moment in which Batman, he gets rescued, and he gets rescued by a ninja clan, and the leader of the ninja clan says, yes, there's a prophecy about a man dressed as a bat who will appear from another land and another time, and he will come here, and we have been training for generations to serve him. And I thought, the entire reason why Batman has allies, it's not like Batman runs into a ninja clan who's, like, disgraced, and he has to teach them the path of justice, and he decides to teach them all to take up, like, the Bat Clan or something like that.
Yeah.
No, they just fucking exist out of nowhere.
It's like,
because they knew this was going to happen, because they're like, I don't know, fuck
like, it would make sense if, like, there was, like, a rebellion against, like, all the Arkham...
Yes! Oh my god!
Yes, that would make more sense. Like, hey, we don't like this guy, so we're gonna team up with you. So it's like, no, you just had to make a bullshit prophecy.
And this story has to do with time travel, so I was holding it in the back of my mind. This thing's gonna end with them getting sucked back to, like, really, really far in the past, and then Batman will create that myth himself and say, I need you to train for these generations. Like, he starts the clan because they go further back in time before they finally go forward or something. Like, oh, okay, so that explains... No! Well, that's just lazy writing. That's what this is. It's such lazy-ass writing.
Yeah,
and
that's
this
the
entire
thing.
movie... And this entire movie is just, fuck it, I don't know. And the thing is, like, with a concept like this, I can let the, fuck it, I don't know, just do it, go for a little while, because it is that type of a story. But it gets to a point in which it's like, I can't, no, man.
No,
this
it's like,
man.
you're willing to put up with so much bullshit before you realize, no, I can't do this anymore.
It's so bad. And, like, they don't even really do anything that interesting with it, because, again, like, this idea that, okay, the Arkham villains have, like, created different sections and different clans, and they're warring against each other. Cool. You never really see, like, what that means.
No.
Like, every time that you see the other clans, it's always just the leader sitting behind a big table just, yes, ah, ha. And it's like, you're not gonna show me, like, how Penguin is running, like, his section of Japan? How Poison Ivy is Poison Ivy's section of Japan just a giant jungle or something like... No, you don't see any of that. You never see squad. But they each have a transforming mech. Like, this thing... At, like, the end of the first act mark, where Batman challenges Joker the first time, Joker says, start Arkham Castle, and, like, his entire castle transforms into a giant robot. And it's like, yeah, it's Japan. Okay, giant mechs, I get it. Alright, that's fine. But then it turns out every single one of the other Arkham villains also had castles that transformed into giant robots. Why? Did they all agree upon this? Why did they all decide to do that? That makes no freaking sense why they would all do that. We have it on in the background, by the way, and I just noticed, like, Joker has a kill switch that has the Japanese and American flag on there. It's like, alright, whatever. But yeah, okay, so there's a lot of things in here, like, story-wise, that just makes no fucking sense. And also, like, again, this is very much just for, like, Batman fans out there, but the weird thing is, it's very much for Batman fans, because it never really stops to explain anything in here.
Yeah.
Like, it never stops to explain, like, oh, why are there 4 sidekicks to him? Because, first off, kudos to them for putting Red Robin in here. Kudos to them for remembering Tim Drake exists. Because, man, so many people don't do that. But, like, they all disappear. It's like, yeah, when you get like 4 people in here, it's kind of hard to like turn to audiences who might not be familiar with this and expect them to get like, Nightwing, okay, I think I know something about Nightwing. I think he was like the first Robin or something like that. Red Hood, I don't really know who he is, but he seems cool and mysterious. Robin, we all know Robin. There's a Red Robin? No, what's this thing? It's like, again,
is that the burger place? What?
man, people have made that joke numerous times, like in the comic book community. It's not, this is like the first time I've seen Red Robin in an actual movie where people would be saying this out loud. Man, it is not until you hear voice actors trying to say with a straight face Red Robin that you realize they gotta change that name. They gotta. Because you can't not think of that. But yeah, so again, it doesn't like stop to introduce you to this stuff. So I want to point at it and be like, yeah, this is only for Batman fans. But then there's so many things in here that I'm just like, would a Batman fan actually like this? Like, yeah, Robin in here doesn't act like the Damian Wayne version of Robin at all. And I'll be honest with you, I fucking hate Damian Wayne. I'll go ahead and say it. I want somebody to send that kid to his room without dinner. Because, yeah, man, he's too much of a smart-ass, snarky piece of shit. I've always had a problem with Damian Wayne. But fuck, man, I know he's popular. I know that there are fans out there. And fuck, if you're going to put a character who has fans in your movie, it's like, shouldn't he be acting like he does? But the big one that gets me is that the person who sends them all back in time, the one who's creating the big machine, is Gorilla Grodd. Gorilla Grodd is a Flash villain. He's never fucking been a Batman villain. The only time Batman has ever even met Gorilla Grodd was when he was teaming up with the Justice League or stuff like that. It's like, why did you go with Gorilla Grodd? It's like, well, we needed someone to send them back in time. It's like, you have time-traveling villains at DC. They're specifically villains who do nothing but time travel. It's like, listen, you have Kronos. Kronos is like an Atom villain, an Atom and the Justice League villain. But his whole thing is time travel. If you want to come in here and go, we need an excuse to get Batman to time travel, I'd be like, yeah, okay, well, hey, man, even if he's not his villain, you need an excuse to get him in. You need someone to time travel. Bam, it works. Gorilla Grodd's whole thing is, I have psychic powers and I want monkeys to rise up and take over the world. Why is he building a time machine?
Like, I think they made it like, as like, I want to like change history so that monkeys
he has his motivation, but again, if you want to do that, go back to the dawn of man.
Exactly.
Why would you go back to feudal Japan?
Like,
you wouldn't even cause monkeys to rule Gotham. Just an island nation.
I think that was the point. I think that's what he was trying to do, but Batman screwed it up, so that's why they all ended up in feudal Japan.
Oh, okay. Well,
yeah.
Maybe. We're giving them some credit on this one. But again, it's like, time travel's not his thing. Why the fuck? I just keep looking at it, it's like this had to have been like the people making this must have just loved, they must have loved giant robots, and they must have loved talking monkeys. Like, a talking gorilla had to have just been like the linking thing that got them together. That's all I can imagine. But
yes, and boy, there are a lot of monkeys in this movie.
We'll get to that. We will get to that. Holy cow.
Even Robin had a monkey sidekick. Like,
yeah, he's got fucking Chim Chim from Speed Racer.
I know, he basically is like the little kid from Speed Racer.
He is. Dear God. But okay, let's talk about like, okay, so there's so many just stupid decisions they take with the story on this.
Yeah.
But just like the quality of this thing, like how well put together it is, it fails on almost every level. Because the writing is bad. Mm-hmm. The writing is so bad. Like, so often, they're just huge chunks. And I don't mean, like, writing's in the plot. I mean, like, dialogue is so bad. There's huge chunks of, like, Batman charging into action. And the only lines of Batman's dialogue for, like, 5 minutes of this movie is, I'm coming for you. That won't stop me. Here I am.
And like,
face me.
And that's
maybe
like not even like
this.
A translation issue or anything. It's just
this. Yeah, exactly. It's like you don't even see his mouth in many of these scenes. You could have him say whatever you want. You don't have to match the lip syncing on this one. But fuck, man, they just. I mean, literally, so much of the dialogue is just yes, I see. There's chunks of that all throughout this thing, and man, I don't want to talk too badly about the animation in here, because there are good moments of animation in here.
Yes, there are. But here's the thing, it's like, it's the 2D animation that's nice, but like, there's the 3D models with cell shading, and they look really awkward.
They look so bad.
Like, they look like they belong in, like, a video game cutscene or something like that. Like,
Japan is known for anime, and anime is known for being some of the most gorgeous 2D animation out there. I have no idea when you came in here with the Japanese anime Batman film, you said, we needed to be computer CGI models. Because we're not up to that point where you can match really good 2D Japanese animation with 3D models yet. And there's moments where this tries. I'll give them that. There are moments where it's like, okay, that's the best I've seen of this. But there's lots of moments in here in which, yeah, man, it just looks so bad. Especially when it comes to the Lips movie.
Right.
There are many moments in here in which Batman will say a complete sentence without his lips ever touching each other. Like, oh my god,
and it's like, and I'm wondering if it has to do with like bad translation or like dubbing or.
It's literally impossible to say any sentence without your mouth talking at each other. It's literally impossible to say anything without your lips meeting each other at some point. It's like, yeah, man, it just doesn't look that good. And like, there's a big and the fight scenes. Some of them look really good. Some of them don't. Like, there's a fight scene on a boat in which Batman is teaming up with Gorilla Grodd, and you see, like, Batman, like, charging around. And it's like, okay, that looks pretty good. And then you see Gorilla Grodd moving around, and it's very clear that, like, his body, because it's a CGI model, for this fight, has to move in ways that the model can't, because, like, his shoulder blades will be going off.
Oh, yeah. Like,
yeah, you noticed that, too.
Yeah, it's like, just, like, his arms are just, like, made up of, like, chunks of CGI.
Also, the, like, what do you call them? Like, the flaps of hair on his side? It looks like someone took like 2 flaps of hair and like put push pins in, because it does not look like they're fully attached to his head. Yeah, you get little bits of that all over the place in here. But then there's this one really weird part in this.
Yeah, it's like, basically, like, should we just...
Story-wise, what has happened is Batman went up against the Joker on this boat. Joker tried to blow the whole thing up with Harley Quinn. And then Batman wakes up and he's like, I've lost all of my technology. I must rediscover myself. And then it goes into like a montage of him prepping to be able to face the other 4 leaders of Arkham. And it turns into a JRPG scene there.
Yeah.
Because it's just still images of Batman.
Just coming in, and then just...
and then just slowly like just, yes. And then he's talking, and then another character will move in here like...
Yes, and like
and the dialogue,
there is no animation. It's just like sliding in, sliding out.
It's like, why the fuck would you do that? And then it goes into this, which the concept of time in here, ironically, since it's time traveling, is so bizarre and doesn't work because like you have no idea how long Batman is in feudal Japan.
No,
and there comes a moment in which they believe they've tracked down the Joker, and Red Hood goes to like kill someone, and then it goes into actual like watercolor painted frames.
It's like a completely different animator or something like that.
It goes into a completely different style of animation when Red Hood thinks that he has found Joker and Harley, and it's just, it is 2D and it's watercolor painted. And it looks good. It looks good, really
but like
damn
the
good.
Style is so jarring compared to what we've seen.
And like we just got done with crazy anime bullshit Batman. We got done seeing him fight like a giant robot and stuff, and then you go into this like which is supposed to be like really moving emotional stuff, and you got Red Hood like slapping and smacking the shit out of this Harley Quinn, except that both of them have lost their memories and they don't remember, and Harley's just like no, and it's like, this just feels like I'm watching a man beat a woman, and it's not like I just watched a giant gorilla punch a clown a couple minutes ago. This doesn't fucking work. Where is your fucking tone, movie? And I get this was supposed to be the emotional moment of this film, but it's so bizarre in comparison to the stuff we had gotten before this. That makes you just question, why did you think that this would feel like it was the same movie? Why do you think that this would feel like it would flow in this film? You can do stuff like this. If you wanted to have like the emotional moment in here and get like a watercolor thing going on, and there's like, okay, cool, this is where the emotional moment kicks in. But like what happens in there, it's just so bizarre that it does not feel like the rest of this film. It's a huge, and goes on forever. It is a long-ass scene.
Yeah, I mean, it's not like a flashback or anything.
It's in the present.
Yeah, like, if it was a flashback, I felt like that different style would be,
That would
like,
make sense.
make more sense.
But this, you're looking at it, and it's just like, I had no idea what was happening for large chunks of that scene. It wasn't until, like, it wasn't until, like, a good 2 minutes in that scene that I realized, oh, this is still... okay, I don't know what's happening.
Yeah, like when like Harley first came out, it was like she was just like a blonde-haired like farmer's wife, and it's like, oh, they couldn't get another actress to like do this, like, and they're like, oh wait, that is Harley. Like,
I seriously did think it was a flashback because I said, that's just Harley Quinn all over again right there. This is literally the same voice actress and she's got blonde hair. Why is she in this? Oh wait, are we in the present? No, wait. Because I thought it was like a flashback or something like that. Like, that was the only excuse I could come up with for what we were watching. But again, like, the concept of time in here, because, like, you see that they have been like, yes, we had no memory of who we are, so we've been tilling the fields here. It's the only thing that makes us feel good, like we're actually doing some good in the world. Such and I was like, I literally thought that, like, 24 hours had passed since that last, like, how long is... Wait, what now? Yeah, it made you feel like, okay, only a couple hours have passed, and yet no, apparently it's been a year since Joker's been gone. And we should also point out, this is the very first time that you even see Red Hood in this film.
yeah, I mean, they mention him.
They mention him very quickly in passing. But yeah, like all the other members, you saw them like there, like training, you saw them like coming and rescuing Batman with the Ninja Clan and filling him in on what's been happening. And then, that's another thing that makes this movie so odd, is when it gets to the scene, you are suddenly cutting away to an art style that we've never seen before, in a location we've never seen before, involving these two farmers that's like, okay,
you may or may not
know who they're, and just some dude in a giant red basket on his head starts beating the shit out of this woman, and I was like, what is this? Yeah, so there's numerous things wrong with that. But as I said, like, story-wise, like, the Bat Ninja Clan is such a bizarre thing to just suddenly bring up in here out of nowhere. Gorilla Grodd, it makes no sense for him to be doing this at all. Catwoman, yeah, she does the Catwoman style thing where she, like, betrays Batman and goes over to the villains, and then at the end she decides to come...
Bless you.
Her dog has the sneezes.
Yes, we're all sneezing. It's allergy season.
Jeez. But then at the end of this, she decides, like... At the end of this, like, when Batman is charging in there to battle, she just appears right next to him. It's like, hey, Bats, mind if I join? It's like, And then she goes, gotta love someone who can forgive you after stabbing him in the back. And it's like, wait, so it wasn't even like this was your master plan of like, oh, no, I'm just getting in there to, like, steal something from them, and then I'm gonna secretly be on your side. It's like, no, she legit betrays him, and then is legit like, yeah, I'll go back to him, whatever. Wow,
She just, like, randomly pops up.
That is such bad character work on her. So yeah, oh god damn. But also we should talk about the Joker. The Joker is written and acted horribly in here.
Yeah, it's like...
I cannot stand bad Joker writing, and this is some bad Joker writing, because the Joker is a tightrope to walk.
Yeah.
How do you make somebody who, like, tells jokes, but they're still villainous? Like, yeah, it's kind of weird, but man, they fail on this, because all of his jokes are just... I don't even want to say it's, like, translation errors or anything like that, but... Yeah, like there's a moment where she's throwing like fans at Batman, and the razor tip fans is like, don't you know razor tip fans are bad for the environment, Batman? And I was like, that's
what?
That's not a joke. That's, I mean, I get why you're trying to make a joke, but it sounds terrible. It's really bad. So, yeah, so this thing has problems on so many levels, and the acting is not very good here either.
Like, you already mentioned, like, how flat Batman is.
But, I mean, like, there's no emoting on Batman.
No.
Like, every line out of his mouth is, I knew it was you, Joker. Gorilla Grodd, why are you doing this? Like, he is so flat in this that it's insane. And the thing that bugs me the most is that a lot of the actors who they got in here are actually, like, because I was listening to some of these voices and I was like, I don't recognize any of these people. But then when it got to, like, Harley Quinn, that's still Tara Strong. But I wasn't that shocked because it's like, yeah, Tara Strong, she'll always play Harley Quinn. She will gladly show up in whatever you do for Harley Quinn. But it doesn't seem like you could get anybody else really big in here. But then I realized, wait a minute, Catwoman, that's Great Elise, I think her name is. She's a big name actress and she's done Catwoman many times. Okay, so you got her back in here. And then, like, when the Penguin pops up, it's Tom Kenny who played him on that The Batman cartoon, the one that came out after the animated series. I was like, oh, shoot, you got him in here, too. And then eventually it just hit a point which I was like, yeah, man, it's not the actors they got. It's not that they got people who couldn't act. They got great voice actors in here. Just, they didn't, like, the directors on here, it feels like they never really yelled, all right, do another take.
Yeah, it's like, and also, like, you know, the Joker wasn't voiced by Mark Hamill, and he will always be the ultimate Joker voice for me, so that kind of threw me off, but at the same time...
But there have been other good Jokers.
Yeah.
And it's like, all right, I'm not... listen, yeah, of course, Mark Hamill is the best Joker out there, but I'm not going to point at someone who isn't Mark Hamill and go, well, he can't be a good Joker.
No, it's not that. It's just bad directing.
Yeah, man, it's just, he ain't good in here.
No.
Oh. All right, so, but as we said, this thing, it just gets so freaking... It gets so stupid with its plot. And where this goes at the end is that Batman needs an army to take on the 4 different mechs that all start fighting each other.
Yes, and then eventually,
he gets a flute that Gorilla Grodd had been
No,
using.
it's like... it goes beyond that. It's like, Joker, like, snaps back into...
Oh, instantly! There's no, like... there is nothing to this whole idea of, oh my goodness, Joker is now leading a good life. Because Joker is like... we didn't even know he was supposed to be dead.
No.
I mean, it literally just cuts to the scene and it's like, wait, so we all thought Joker died? I didn't know that because it happened like 2 minutes ago for us. Like, what? I had no idea that's what the story was supposed to be, but apparently people think that the Joker is dead. But when he then pops back up and it's like, hey, I'm a villain again, and it was like, you were a not villain for a 5-minute watercolor sequence. This has zero, like, build up, zero tension to it.
Like, honestly, as nice as that watercolor animation sequence was done, this whole movie could have been just... that whole scene could have just been cut out and nothing would have been lost or gained.
Absolutely. Because, again, like, he says that he had to hypnotize himself into not being the Joker, because he had to, like, wait for a while. But he planted these crops that when the crops bloom, it would be like the symbol that would reawaken him. So he basically created like a timer to snap himself out of his self-induced hypnotism, hypnotization. He basically planned like a timer in there for that. And the plants do nothing. Like, I was like, okay, but the plants, like, he'll use that. That's like the secret ingredient in his, like, laughter gas or something. He'll use that to poison the battlefield. No.
Well, he did bomb the mechs, so that paralyzed them, so...
But was it the... They could have just been bombs.
No, I could have sworn it was the plants.
But again, it's like, it didn't have to be that plant.
No, it didn't.
It could have just been, yeah, these bombs of mine will paralyze him. He had the plants shoved into the bomb, but it's one of those things in which it's just like, yeah, you could have just said, I attacked you with a bomb. And that's what it did. It's like, okay, Joker uses bombs, that's fine. You are absolutely right. That entire 5-minute watercolor sequence in here could have been cut out and it would have changed nothing in this story. Because, yeah, we all knew Joker would still be alive in here. And for anybody who's saying, it's like, well, yeah, but then you would question, where's the Joker while Gorilla Grodd is taking over his kingdom and this... Again, it's like 5 minutes of this movie he's not in. Yeah. It doesn't give us enough time to question that. There's not enough time in here to go, hey, where's the Joker been this entire time?
They could have just been like, oh, Red Robin was just searching for the Joker, and just continue with the montage or something. Yeah,
literally
like
just say, it's like, any word on where the Joker disappeared to? None yet, but I'm still looking. Done. That would have been it. Oh my god. Okay, so Joker disappeared for a while. He's back now. And the way that they are able to take on the Joker's giant mech is he uses a flute that Gorilla Grodd was using to control monkeys. He summons all these monkeys in yellow samurai armor out there. They come in, and they all start forming together into a giant, like, one giant monkey. Like, they all form into, I mean, it looks like it's a tiny baby chimp is what it looks like, but it's like this big and it's just pure yellow. And when they're forming together, like, they just form into giant waves of yellow, and man, I don't know if it was just me, but I looked at it, I was like, that looks like piss. That's all I could think, because it was
giant piss monkey.
There was like, it was like a wave. It was like it was even splashing against itself, and it's like, you can't show me yellow liquid doing this. It really looked like just waves of piss that they were attacking the Joker mech with.
Oh, and the funny part is like the flute, like they were playing the Batman theme, the na 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 na.
I give him some credit on that one. I give him some credit, because also, like, Robin's playing the flute, and then Mochi, like, I think his name is Mochi,
Monchichi, like
something. Yeah, the little baby monkey that he has
his
joins
little
in.
pet monkey.
Yes, his little pet monkey joins in with him, jumps up there, and is like controlling like the two like little ends, and then he goes, "It's not enough, we need more." And then now there's a female baby monkey who apparently his baby monkey has a relationship with off screen that we never saw. She jumps up there and joins in, and when they all join in, that's when it becomes na 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 na. I will give you credits. That's actually pretty good. That's actually pretty decent. But so then they form into the giant mech and they're fighting it, and the monkey is like lifting them up in his hand while it's trying to fight the Joker thing.
Yeah,
and
like by the way, the Joker like took over like all the fighting robots, and they folded together like Voltron.
Why
like,
would that happen? That's another question. They all did this to fight each other. Like, they all formed these things in secret so that they could fight each other. Why would they, in secret, have formed robots to defeat each other so that they could then merge together?
Like, that's another thing, like, Gorilla, like, came up with. It's like,
I must have missed that.
I control their minds so that these robots will be able to form together and we'd be able to, like, go back in time or go back to the present or some shit
I missed that one, so that's on me. That's on me. Alright, but they all form together into one giant mech, so you got the giant monkey pile of monkeys.
Pile of monkeys in the shape of a monkey.
Fighting the Joker's giant mech. And there comes a moment in which, like, I was looking at this, and I was like, okay, I know I shouldn't be asking this, but the monkeys on the bottom of this thing are being, like, crushed into paste. Like, they can't hold up that much weight. This is insanity to me that they're doing this. But then the Joker attacks with a giant flamethrower and is burning it away, and then you see chunks of this thing falling off. I was like,
that's really gruesome. It's like,
you're making us watch you set monkeys on fire. And like, some of the chunks actually do look like apes falling out.
Yeah, it's like,
this is graphic as fuck. I mean, not even graphic, but just the implications.
Yeah, it's disturbing. Like,
it's so disturbing.
Christ, like,
and then like the Bat Ninja Clan shows up and summons a wave of bats, and the wave of bats form with the monkey pile to become a new. It's just giant Batman. At that point.
It's like it went from like baby monkey to giant Batman.
And I'll give him some props on this one. It's like the original 1930s, like his very first appearance Batman. Like, that's kind of cool. But man, that's about it that I can give this, because, man, like I said, if you were going to go stupid with this thing, go full stupid. This is the one moment in this movie where they go full stupid, and it's so... I just keep thinking back to the rest of the film before this, and how it's like, dude, even though...
It's like, how did we get here? Like...
Yeah, exactly. Like, I want to come in here, like I said, if you're going to go stupid, go full stupid. This went full stupid at the end, but I wasn't enjoying it still, and I was still just like, why am I not enjoying this? Because going full stupid at this point was the only thing that could save this thing, and you somehow went beyond full stupid on this one. But I think it's also just because, yeah, you look at the rest of this movie and you're just like, get the fuck out.
Yeah.
How did we get to this point? Mm-hmm. And yeah, so then it just leads up to a big, like, sword fight between Batman and the Joker, and again, the animation looks pretty darn good on that. But yeah, that's just how this thing ends. But you can't stop and not think about the fact that it's like, I just watched a giant monkey form with bats and a giant Batman after watching monkeys being burned alive. It's so incredibly weird. But not even good weird.
No.
It's just dumb.
It's just, what? Why?
Yeah.
How? Like...
And it would be one thing, and honestly, I think the reason why it going full stupid wasn't really enough to save it for me was because you still have to have, like, good dialogue and acting and all that to go full stupid, and man, this just, it can't carry the ball even a yard on this thing.
Yeah.
Like, this thing has got, honestly, the best way I can say it, this thing has an amazing quarterback, and the rest of this team can't catch a fucking pass, no matter what. You can hand the ball off to someone, and they will instantly drop it.
Oops.
Because I look at this thing, and it's like, yeah, this entire movie was based on really cool character designs. And it's got that.
Yes.
It's got really cool character designs. But the moment you try and toss that ball over to the script department, nope, drop. You toss that ball over to the animation part, okay, I got it for a little while, tackle, sack to the ground. Yeah, man, this is a movie in which it exists only for that reason. It exists only because, hey man, the fan art of it will look cool. But god damn, that is not enough to make a movie out of.
No, it's like, just sometimes fan art needs to be left as fan art.
There's plenty of times in which it's like, I would gladly watch, man, actually no, you know what? This would have made an amazing short.
Yes.
This would have been
like,
an
you remember
short.
the DC shorts?
I was just about to say, remember Beijing Batman?
Yes.
The moment that Bane pops up in here as a sumo wrestler, I thought back to the Bane in the Shanghai Batman, I think that's what it was called.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, something like that. Into that mini that they did back with the DC Nation on Cartoon Network. And it was like, god damn, all this was cooler than that.
Yeah.
Catwoman was cooler than that, Batman was cooler than that, like, and the animation was gorgeous, but it was also short. Like, they did not need to come in here and come up with a story for this. And I feel like this thing, like, they literally had maybe 5 minutes of material for this entire film. And then after that, it was, I don't know, monkeys.
Giant robots.
Giant robots. Yeah, man, that's what this is. If this was a 5-minute short, it would be great. And honestly, if you look at the trailer for this thing, trailer is really damn good. The trailer gets you hyped. And it's because it's literally just, here's the cool shit, crammed into 2 minutes. Done. Oh, God, that's really the best thing that I can say about this thing. It would make a cool 5-minute short. But, God, it's an hour and a half long, and the other 125 minutes of this thing are not good. Because, yeah, there's so many things in here, and I'm just, because I thinking about the rest of this film, it just made me think of the ending of this.
Right, I was just about to mention.
And the ending of this film sums up this entire movie. There's so many moments in here which is like, why is that happening? I don't know, no reason. They just think it would be cool looking. But it's not that cool looking. So you're just failed on every level. The end of this thing, Alfred goes up to Batman.
It was like they return home, obviously,
yes.
so...
Alfred goes up to Batman and says, "Sir, you'll be needing this uniform for your meeting with the mayor tonight." Ah, right. Thank you, Alfred. Batman does not have his mask on, and Alfred is talking to him about this. They're in a back alleyway somewhere. Why would you not have this conversation happen at the Batcave? They were literally in an alleyway. You can see like the lights from stores and restaurants behind them. And Batman has no mask on. And Alfred is talking to him openly about, "Master Wayne, you need this for your trip to the mayor." And I'm like,
and then...
why would you not do that? And then it ends with a bunch of horses.
Like,
with
it was
horse-driven Batmobile.
Yeah, it was. Like feudal Japan-esque Batmobile, so it's like...
Exactly. A feudal Japan Batmobile just being driven by horses, just clop, 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 like walking out into the street and then just going down the street. And then you see Bruce Wayne in there drinking tea as Bruce Wayne, not Batman. And there's literally the bat symbol on the back of the car. And went, why would you take that to go and see the mayor?
You know, like... Batman is supposed to be, like, hiding his identity, but, like, he is not subtle in this movie at all.
In all fairness, he's, what, 1,000 years in the past? No one's gonna know it's Bruce Wayne.
Or Batman, or, like, but it's
no one's gonna know Bruce Wayne is Batman, because Bruce Wayne doesn't exist.
I guess, but it's like, remember when he was, like, disguised, and he had, like, the bat symbol shaved on the back of his head?
I forgot that, yes. Joker has been running this portion of Japan for 2 years, and there are wanted posters for Batman everywhere, so he has to blend in, so he disguises himself as a Christian missionary, and he's got, like, the shaved druid top of the head where the top of his head is bald, but he shaved the bat symbol into his hair.
Yeah.
In the place where people are on the lookout for Batman. Yeah, man, this entire movie is just, I don't know, it'll probably be cool, but it wasn't. It's got kick-ass character designs, and that's all that this movie has going for it. And a couple of cool action scenes, but even the action scenes don't look cool all the way.
Yeah.
Because the character, like, they're 3D models.
Yeah.
And they just can't look as cool as they should.
Yeah, it's like they're just so stiff.
So
And you
stiff.
can't be stiff when you're doing a fighting animation.
Especially fluid
scene. Yeah.
animation, yes. Especially a fluid fighting scene where it's like crazy, like quick paced all over the place. Yeah, man. And honestly, there's so many, like we're watching it still in the background in here. It's on repeat.
Yeah, it's like we rented
Yeah, when you rent it, you get the American version and the Japanese version. And the Japanese version starts immediately after the English version. And I gotta say, the Japanese voice actors are pretty darn good. Like,
Yeah.
how the hell did they pick a better Japanese Joker than America did? And when we all know who the Joker is, so I'll give them that. But yeah, it's on in the background. We're at the scene now in which all the feudal lords are fighting each other, and I just keep thinking, it's like, do you know how many freaking villains Batman has? Have these be like the 4 leaders, and like you couldn't give each of them like their own little squadron of people? I was like, well, that would have you would have had to have cast all these voice actors. No, man, just I will sell for a shot of like feudal era Mr. Freeze, like just standing behind the Penguin, and that's it. Like, I don't even really need, like, even just small shit like that, because this is nothing but fan service.
Yeah.
Nothing but just, hey, do you want to see Japanese-looking Batman? There. That's it.
And not very
And it's
good
like,
fan
go
service
further
either.
with
like,
that shit.
Yeah, exactly.
Go, like, listen, if it's just fan service, I'll take whatever crumbs you can give me here, and I'm just looking at parts in which it's like, goddamn, you couldn't, like, do anything for me, really, in this scene? All right. So, yeah, man, it is not good at all. But, and again, as I said, I'm not even really the biggest fan of DC's animated films. I think that they have a few good ones, and the rest are, but, they're kind of few and far between, especially recently. But for those people out there who think that they're great, maybe you'll enjoy this. But as I said, the audience scores on this have been really bad too. Even the audience out there who likes this stuff is like, no, this is not good at all. So, yeah, that's all I got, folks.
Yep.
But if you want to see us talk about more bad movies, there's 2 I have to review this weekend, and they have got awful Rotten Tomatoes scores at the moment. So if you want to come back to watch our movie reviews of Life of the Party and Breaking In, come back later this weekend, or come back next weekend for Deadpool 2. Oh my god, this movie, it taxes me. But thank you guys. God damn it. I'm thinking of more and more plot holes in this thing. Alright, screw it. Bye everyone.
Bye.